You know, you're listening to the Skull Bros. Awesome. I don't know the rest of it.
Holy cow. Core memory unlocked, sir. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Boy, I love that. I love that intro. I wish I actually knew the whole thing. Too bad.
That's good. Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
Okay, like when I said go ahead, I don't want to stop you because you've been rocking it lately.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're
Yeah,
gonna get much higher than that, sir.
yeah. I actually like. I thought about that. It's like, you know what? I need to go back and listen to that intro. I can't find the podcast anywhere.
Nah, it's probably who knows.
It is
Mo-
kaputs.
Yeah, a lot of them are just gone, and it's sad because you can't relive it now.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was an old Warhammer Fantasy podcast for anyone out there that's like, what the hell are these nerds talking about?
If
But
you know, then you know. If
yeah,
you
if you
don't
know,
know, then you know.
it means nothing to you. But tell you what it does mean for everybody. It's episode 45 of the Strength Hammer podcast. And yes, we're a day late because we delayed it on purpose because of the reveal show. So we can talk about reveals because why would we not take the easy content, Neil?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Easy
So
content's
we'll
easy.
get in line with the other 1,000 other podcasts that are doing this.
Hey, we'll still be ahead of Warhammer Weekly
That's
because I don't think they did a live show after because it was also like
aha.
2:30 in the morning when it was over.
We've scooped them.
East Coast time. Yeah, we got him. We got him. Plus, they're going to Holy Havoc this weekend, so I'm looking forward to seeing those pictures
Mm.
as well as enjoying the LVO pictures that are happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
But Neil, as usual, we have to start off with the fitness. Now, mine's going to be a little longer this week because of what I just went through. But why don't you tell me about your fitness?
Go. You're good. Go ahead.
Have you not done anything yet?
No,
Okay,
it's
all
terrible.
right.
No.
We, I have a Russian friend. His name's Alex. I'm gonna send him over there and get
I
you.
actually, I actually, I was thinking the other night, it's just like I need Alex to like put me together a diet or something. Like, you know, I need his help.
I mean, he is actually a registered nutritionist, so that's actually what he's best at.
Yeah.
So, and tell you what, do it right now. Message him live on air.
Yeah.
Just
All
message
right.
like, "Hey Alex, I'd like to talk to you sometime in the next couple days about a nutrition plan if you could assist." Just leave it at
Gotcha.
that. That's all you need. Tell me when you're done.
Okay. Well, I'll let you talk about
Okay,
your your workout.
my fitness. All right. So
Good
this
deal.
past week, I was having a very deep cleanse. I was removing all toxins from my body because I got a stomach bug Sunday night. I was up all night, uh, uh, both ends. It was 32 hours of absolute hell. Um, but yeah, we got through it. It was
Working out
nice.
that booty hole.
Yeah. Ooh, I didn't know I had so much crap in me. Uh, I was so dehydrated, like, 'cause my body, I would take I know I told you before, but just for sake of the talk, any sips of water I had, my body was like, you get that out right now. That doesn't belong here. I'm like, yes, it does. I'm a dehydrated husk right now, and you're still finding water to remove. Please don't remove the fresh water I just put in you. Hold it as long as you can. So it was like a game of willpower, but it was like so sick for that short amount of time where like I couldn't watch like normally I can put on TV and like a video game let's play or like a battle report or a lore video and just distract myself and like just suffer through things. I didn't I just sat in silence in a dark room all night, just miserable. Like my brain didn't want to do anything. Like it's just like
Hello, darkness, here, my friend.
yeah, exactly. It was awful. And then right as I got, and my wife did a wonderful job taking care of me. Like, and there was a moment, like when I woke up after like I was through it, like done vomiting. Still had some stomach issues, but it was like resolving. I was like, I want to have some real food. My body's ready. We had some pineapple I bought. I was like, just bring me up a couple pieces of pineapple. Let me tell you, biting into this pineapple, I have never tasted anything more fucking delicious in my life. It was just an explosion of flavor. And I just couldn't get enough of it. And then, like, right now I'm obviously fine, but then about 12 hours after I'm finally done, and I still was fatigued, and, I was sick. I was trying to read. Like, my appetite's not fully back, it's mostly back now. But about 12 hours after I was finally, like, past it and I'm getting better, boom, hits my wife. So then I gotta take care of her. And meanwhile, this is also during the week, so I'm also working. Thankfully, I work from home, but it was just like it was a hectic week. Needless to say, it was also a deload week for me, so I very much deloaded by not going to the gym at all. I'm looking forward to getting back next week. It's gonna be a very casual week, and then me and Alex are starting our next program. But the that was a fun week. Some good news. If you want to head over to strengthhammer.net anytime, if you're listening to this, Alex and I, that program we just did, which is not what made me sick, but we wrote it together and we did it together, and it's now up online. So there's links and there's pictures, so you can check it out for yourself. It's 5 day a week. Encourage everyone to check it out, adapt it, message me questions. I'm not a coach, but I'll do my best to explain what I did, maybe how you can adjust things. So that's kind of exciting to have that out, and people seem to be pretty receptive of it, positively. So that's all well and good. So yeah, I'm looking. I had a nice restful weekend, nice deep cleanse of all the toxins in my body, and then yeah, looking forward to getting back to working out next week. So Neil, did you do anything for fitness? Did you message Alex this week? Is that
I
what you?
did. I just messaged Alex. We're gonna
Boom!
work.
Look at that. Look how easy this
See,
content
there it
is.
is. Yeah, good call.
That's great. No, that's
Mhm.
good. You have to take the initiatives, but everyone's here
Mhm.
to help. All right. Well, how about hobby? You have a new 3D printer. Obviously,
Mhm.
you have to have some hobby, even if it's wanting to throw the 3D printer against the wall because it's not working.
Right. Right now it is in a state where I could print with it, should I choose to. But if I print with it and something goes wrong with a piece of it, I could cost myself a lot of basically the whole printer. So I could also spend just $20 and fix it.
So
So
you're
I
waiting to
think that
spend $20 whenever you can.
so I'm waiting to spend $20 to fix it.
that's that's fair. Have you gotten any prints off of it since we last spoke?
Not since I got the six crossbow men,
Is
and
that
after
for
that,
Cole's fantasy army?
that's for Cole. Yeah, so
Nice.
he's got three demigriff riders and six crossbowmen so far.
Okay, so Cole, you might not have a army ready for Adept of Won't, but we can loan you one. No worries. It won't be
Mhm.
Empire, but we will. I'm
We'll
bringing.
see.
I'm bringing. How many armies am I bringing now? Because I'll have to bring Dave's.
I still got 2 months.
That's true. Okay, that's
Yeah,
true.
we're not out of it yet.
Okay.
He
All
won't
right.
have a painted army, but he could potentially still have an
Well,
army.
hey, I haven't seen the pack yet, and I'm not writing the pack, so I don't know how hard the TO is going to be. We'll see.
Oh boy, I am. So you're here first. This is where I kind of get my ideas out. Is on this podcast,
Yeah,
but
it's great because if they don't listen, they don't know. But it's right here.
I'm considering a a three system tournament.
Yes. Okay. I'm assuming fantasy battles, 40K,
I
and
was talking
Sigmar.
narrative stuff last time, but I've since reconsidered. I'm wondering about doing
Push our.
match
You
play
want?
40K,
Ooh.
Sigmar, and fantasy, one per day, and we take the overall record in all three systems, and we get our winner that way.
You could do it. So essentially, how many games per day?
I'm looking at maybe we could either do two or three. I'm thinking maybe two though. So that gets you 6 games over the 3 days
That's true, and
to determine the winner.
you could do it points based. So if you go 2-0, you get 20. If you go 0-2, you get nil. Do like a 20-0 system. So essentially, you're taking 6 games and turning it into a 3-game tournament, 20-0 style.
Hmm,
Just a thought. Just a thought.
potentially. But anyway, so that's my thoughts there, and
Would it
we'll see.
be full 2,000 and then 2,400 for fantasy? I assume, or would it just be 2,000 across the board?
Oh, I think I don't know if people have enough for a 2400 for fantasy. So what I will say is it would probably fantasy would have to be a 2000 to 2400 point game. I'm not going to put any restrictions on it. You can potentially even play whatever type of game you want to play, right? I might even not even limit it to match play. Like if you want to play some kind of wackadoo narrative game, whoever wins that wackadoo narrative game gets the victory.
Okay,
We play it loose at Adepticant / won't.
that's true. That's true. Have you thought about awards yet for this?
I've been thinking about,
Because didn't we do we did first through last place last year,
we
right?
did, we did, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if we need boxes of Warhammer stuff, I might have a few extras
Oh, really?
of boxes, empty boxes for awards again, since if that's what
Mhm.
you want.
Let's see.
Or there is about 6 to 10 Italian Age of Sigmar 3.0 rulebooks set aside to bring out to this event from the
That'd be amazing. That'd be
Warhammer Fest
amazing.
stuff I'm working on. Oh,
That'd be amazing.
oh, you think on it. I mean, that's
I
good.
will think on it. I'm considering having something 3D printed though, something massive.
Where are you gonna get that though?
I can either do it myself, potentially,
Okay,
over many, many, many misprints, or I could have somebody that I know who will be attending do it
I
for you.
see. I see. Okay, all right, all right.
Mhm.
So
But
instead of
I think it's one that everybody would want as well.
it's a
We'll see if people
Galmaraz.
want to do
You're
it.
doing Galmaraz.
Ah, God damn it, Chuck.
Listen, if you tell me
All
you're
right, I'm not
bringing
going to tell
Galmaraz,
Razzie. Forget it. That's over. You guessed it. It's not a surprise anymore. Forget about it. Look, you ruined it for everybody.
well, I say if listen, if there's one award and it's possibly Galmaraz, I'm not leaving that place with friends, but I'm leaving with Galmaraz.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. You got
I'm
3 systems to win at.
yeah, and guess what? I got elves in all of them, sir, and they're all busted. Yeah, we're
Well,
bringing the high elves, we're bringing the Yanari, and we're
well,
bringing the daughters of Cain. Watch
we'll see
out.
what we can put together here. Maybe there's a
Mm.
Slayer of King's sword out there too. That'd be pretty
Oh,
sweet
I'm
as
sure.
well.
Talk to AOS coach. I think he's got that one.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
See, there we go.
Awesome.
All right.
So that okay. So any other hobby right now, or is that kind of just been that lately?
Still the crisis protocol stuff, just to play with my kids. But
That's fine.
I was gonna paint up the oh Jesus, I can't remember the name of them. The new the new swamp guys for Nurgle.
Oh,
Um,
the Rotmeyer Creed.
Rotmeyer Creed. There it is.
Yeah. How long ago did
Because
they
I
give
was
those
gonna
to you?
put them in my I was gonna put them in my list, and then I was playing like I brought them to that practice game, and somehow I only had 9 of them. I
Oh,
don't know where I placed the 10th one.
did
So I'm like, well,
is it in one of Matt's things maybe? Because I know I gave it to him to give to you.
maybe
I
I
said
don't know.
maybe it just got misplaced, and that means all gray plastic at Matt's house, so it could easily be
Right. So I figured I
blending in.
misplaced it somewhere, but I hadn't actually touched them or actually counted them or anything. So I don't know. But I was going to bring 9 out of 10 to Brewhammer. So that list has since gone the way of the dinosaur.
Do you
And
yeah, Brewhammer prep? That's a good thing to think about actually. Do you have your
yeah,
list in yet?
no, no, I do not.
Well,
But
we
you do
have
2 days.
2 days.
Yes, I will. I actually was going to get it in yesterday, and then I found that because I do not own the General's Handbook yet, you can't actually put
The
in the
battalions.
app.
You
You can't put the what is it called?
battalions.
Not the battalions, because I'm not even worried about that at this point. But although that doesn't work,
Oh, the I know what
the
you're talking about.
grand strategy.
Yeah, grand strategies or the free champion upgrade thing, whatever it's called.
Yeah. So I can't just copy it and then paste it into the thing because it's not going to work. So I'm doing it on War Scroll Builder, and I got distracted. I don't know, 18 times. Whenever you get distracted in War Scroll Builder, then you come back to the site, and then
It's
it reloads.
reset.
Everything's
Yeah,
gone. I'm like, so I think I've done that 3 times now. But whatever.
I
That's like the kids.
I got you.
So
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, tomorrow morning over a cup of coffee, Saturday morning, because we are recording late. So
uh,
people read this on Saturday as Neil's frantically building his list. Hopefully
no,
quietly building his list on a Saturday morning while everyone's asleep and he's got a cup of coffee in hand.
I may be working for the next 7 days straight. Actually, I work tomorrow and Sunday, and then all the way up to Brewhammer. So Brewhammer is going to be a welcome, welcome, welcome
Gotcha. Well, get that. Then maybe you should do that list right now as we do this podcast.
site. We'll get it out tonight, I think.
Gotcha. Um, yeah, I finally settled on my list. After test games galore, and then listening to the lots of coverage on the GHB since we are using it. Um, tweaked it a little bit. I'm excited for it. I can actually give a quick rundown of it right now. I'm doing Hagnar because after over 100 games of um, the Kraith and earning my stripes there, I figured I should probably play at least my 10th game of Hagnar. So I'm going back to that right now. So because it's easy and it's good. So I
Love it.
I have a battle regiment. Battle regiment has a Slaughter Queen on Cauldron of Blood, 2 Hang Queens on foot, 20 Sisters of Slaughter, 20 Witch Elves, and 20 Witch Elves with bucklers, as
Ooh,
well as that's the battle regiment. Oh, and also 2 units of Heartrender Canaries for the free battle tactics I get.
how many drops you got? You got the one?
That's the one right now. Then I also have a Warlord battalion, which
Ooh.
has 2 High Gladiatrixes, 10 Doomfire Warlocks, and an assassin because I had 80 points left, and I figured why not get another Galatian champion in there, and the assassin, he's not too bad. I can't hide him in anything in Daughters of Cain, but since he's running next to, I'll just run next to like a witch elf unit or something, and he can't be shot anyway. So he's
Uh,
a assassin that can do it. So that sounds cool.
nice.
And I think one of my I gave my other one of my high gladiators is the general. She's got the leader alpha thing, so she can do the 3 CPs of all out defense, all out attack, rally once per game, I think. And she's zealous
Mhm.
orator, so I can rally on a 4+. The other high gladiatrix has a arcane tome and mind razor, so we're looking good. We're looking good. So that's one,
Fundraiser.
2, 3, 4. That's a 5-drop army. I think it's.
Sure.
I feel very confident with it.
Well,
I
well. Let me see your 5 drop and raise you my 1 drop, which
ooh.
is a Lord of Blights. This is a battle regiment. Lord of Blights, Lord of Plagues, Bloab Rot Spawn, 10 Putrid Blight Kings, 5 Putrid Blight Kings, 5 Putrid Blight Kings, 2 Pusco Blight Lords, and a unit of Nurglings for 1,960 points, kids.
Ooh, I'm at a full 2,000, so no triumph for me.
I was trying. Nurgle is so hard to try and actually like.
Yeah, some of
You're
them
either
are.
like
Some of them are.
70 points low, or you just have a bunch of crap in there, right?
Yeah.
So I could have got it closer with a single Puscoil Blight Lord as well, but unfortunately, I have to have a Lord of Afflictions as my general, which is not a Galatian veteran. So,
I'm
or
actually.
Galatian champion rather.
Yeah, I have 5 Galatian champions in my list.
Wow, so it's a lot.
Yeah, well,
It's a lot.
I'm aiming for the battle tactics, and I should be able to crush them with that and the 2 units of Canary. So I feel very very confident on that. Um,
I think I may get my first 0-5. That's
okay,
something. That's
I
something.
I mean I
I
feel confident. I feel confident on a solid 2 and 3 without much care, but I'm trying to like suck myself up to care a little bit more and try and push for a
Yeah.
3 and 2 or even a 4 and 1.
I was supposed to get another practice game in this week. That did not happen because um, just I got canceled from work a couple times this past week. Actually, like 3 times. This is why I'm working like crazy this next week coming up.
Yep,
But also that doesn't leave a lot of time for getting to the shop. So
yep, no, that's
what
understandable.
you gonna do? Mm-hmm.
So get through it. But yeah, honestly, I'm not used to this weird 5-drop world. I've almost always just been like 13+ drops and just like I'll just deal with it either way. My game plan was to not care if I went first or second,
Mm-hmm.
and it usually would work out for me. So now I'm playing the game, see how it goes. Obviously, I think if I could have been at a 4, I've been in a little bit better situation. But even still, if this list didn't have um, the low drop mechanic, I could probably just play it how I always have.
Mm-hmm.
And then honestly thinking about that, there's a chance tomorrow, since I have free time tomorrow, I might play with it and tweak it and see if I can't squeeze out another item or magic benefits. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see. Like I said, I'm not tweaking any models I'm bringing at this point. I might tweak battalions a bit,
Yeah.
but still.
Yeah, I don't know. I was so sick of having to try and plan for the double turn because I'm Nurgle and I'm so slow and I'm not very good at planning for double turns anyway. And I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to get double turned on turn 1 to 2. Just not happening. So one drop. There we go.
There you go. Yep, yep. Like I said, you've leaned in the whole way and said, I'm not playing this game. I'm winning this game in the end.
I don't know about all that.
That's fine. Trying to think. Outside of that, I painted up some orc brutes for my Path to Glory army because the points drops within that army allowed me to make that unit be added in and sit at a nice even 1,000. So I'm pretty happy to do that. Makes my OCD happy.
Mhm.
Finished building all of the Warhammer Fest terrain. I'll have to start painting it soon, but all that paint finally arrived. Received even more terrain to paint, this time for Kill Team, so that will be fun. That's after this Fest terrain stuff, or slash simultaneous. That should be exciting. Received in pretty much everything I needed for my Fire Slayer army, except for the one piece that you have for me. You have that furnace for me that you graciously have
Mhm.
gotten for me, so I look forward to picking that up at Brewhammer.
Mhm.
But I have a stack of Fire Slayer stuff, and like I can't wait because this is the only army project I have planned this year. It's the only one I have passion for right now this year too. Like so, we'll see what it means. But before that, on my desk, I got some color on it today. Was my Catachan Crusade Force. Um,
Nice.
it's a little bit down and dirty. It's not being super fancy, but it'll look good. It'll we got the greens, we'll have the blacks, we'll have the whites, we'll have the reds, and we'll be enjoying ourselves. Um, yeah. Oh, and I did forget to mention it last time, I believe. I got in two wonderful books from the old world. I don't think I mentioned this. I got in the original Storm of Chaos book. Maybe not the original. I think it was the second Storm of Chaos, and then also the Blood in the Badlands campaign book. I got them both super cheap on Amazon, and they were both almost brand new.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm in love. So I have every eighth edition, what I consider an eighth edition book, with exception of the Forge World stuff, because I'm never probably getting that. That
Mhm.
yeah, and if I do, I great. But if not, oh well. Um, but yeah, it's lots of excitement going on. But even still, like I'm meeting my goal of painting less models this year.
That doesn't include terrain.
No, that's it's. I always include terrain. So well, I mean, last year was over 1,000. This year, I don't think I'll be over 1,000 because,
God.
yeah, even with
It's
everything I have,
yeoman's work right there. That is yeoman's work.
everything I have in my house right now for Warhammer US Open, Warhammer Fest, all that, all that sort of stuff. It's that plus the Fire Slayer army sitting on my desk, and then five I've already done, and then the 30 on my desk right now does not even come close to halfway. So, or maybe it does come halfway. But regardless, it's fine. I'm going to take my time, relax. I'm probably even after I paint this army, this Crusade army. Obviously, I'll work on the terrain. But as far as before I start this Fire Slayer army, I'm not diving right in. I'm just going to take a break. I know I've had the itch to kind of play some video games lately, so I'm just going to enjoy that and have some fun.
Mhm. Love it.
And then hopefully just focus more on playing games than much else. But yeah, that's the hobby in a nutshell. I do have day you're listening to this, I'll have a couple of 40K games under my belt. A couple of
Okay.
those planned out of nowhere. That's exciting.
Little prep for Adepticon.
I guess so, because it's not going to help me for Brewhammer, that's for sure. It's going to screw me up more than anything else.
Right.
Um, yeah. Okay. So let's dive right in to the main topic, Neil. To take a sip of my Captain Morgan private stock that I'm enjoying tonight.
Mm.
So why did we delay this podcast by a day? Let me tell you, there was a little event going on called the Las Vegas Open this weekend. And GW's graciously offered them a reveal show to help boost their numbers. So yeah, we got a few reveals, and also if you are keeping up with the sarcasm, Las Vegas Open I think is the biggest Warhammer event that's ever existed. It's
Mhm.
freaking huge. Great streaming. The Warhammer official Warhammer Twitch is streaming Age of Sigmar all this weekend, and then Frontline Gaming and War Games Live are streaming 40K. So whatever your preference is within the those two settings, there's something to enjoy and watch. So jump in and have a good time. But reveals. Neil, give me an overview. What did you think of the reveal show as a whole? Like, give me that 10,000. Give me a grade.
Well, I was unable to catch the actual show. However,
Okay.
I did catch all of the reveals. So I don't know if you want to give your opinion on the show if you watch the show.
Uh, yeah, I will. I will, but I'll let you go first on the
Now,
reveals itself.
if I had to pick the one thing that I am most excited about,
No, no,
uh,
I want your letter grade on the reveal as a whole.
the reveals as a whole, a letter grade.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna go with an. I hate to say it, I've been critical in the past, so this isn't me just fluffing it out here, but they were all pretty good.
Okay.
I
All right.
give it a solid A minus.
Was this the first reveal where you're actually into most of those game systems too? So does that
Yeah,
help it? Okay.
yeah. Well, I mean, it does, but like when it's like random Space Marine X, like yeah, I don't really care. It's just like, oh, look, it's another Space Marine, and this time the weapon's different. Like I don't, it's they all look very similar to me. Not like Tau. Tau are all very individual. Every single model is just a myriad of differences in each one. So, but Space Marines are all the same character over and over again with different weapons. But it it does look. I think I was listening to one show talk about the new Space Marine weapons. It looks like they said it looks like a 10-year-old made these. It's just like giant gun with like bullets flying out of everything, and I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that actually. I think it's awesome. That's
I
what Warhammer should be. It should just be absolutely asinine, like
Yep, over the
10-year-old
top.
wet dream, right? I mean, that's
Yeah, I saw a there's a meme picture of that those Marines with the desolation unit, but like it made them all Nerf guns, like over the top Nerf guns, and it's just like this just makes me like it more. It's like
yeah,
sorry meme if you're trying to get something different out of me. I like it.
yeah.
It's funny.
But I mean, it was good. The whole thing was actually it was surprising. I mean, we knew Lizardman was coming, right? But who knew
Yeah.
this Daughters of Cain,
Oh, I didn't.
underworld army was coming?
This is the first one
Right?
that's a surprise to me, and I'm excited for it.
The War Cry blood hunt stuff,
Oh
like
my gosh,
kind of out of left field,
Ronin
you know,
samurai vampires.
right?
I was not expecting to be excited for vampires ever.
That's yeah, just kind of weird, but okay, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Um,
Okay, so what's your letter grade again?
I'd give it an A minus.
A minus. Okay. All right. And now my letter grade is going to include the whole show as a whole. So it was hosted by uh, Eddie Eccles and I'm drawing a blank on his name. The other gentleman. He doesn't come on too often. He does the Lore Master videos a lot. Nice deep voice. Andy Duty. Yeah. I apologize if somehow you're listening to this podcast for two reasons. One, sorry you're here, and two, sorry I just butchered your name. Um, Eddie is an expert at this. He's done this so much. Pacing is great. The other gentleman, um, very knowledgeable, like he brought in a different layer of insight, but he kept asking questions and like pointing out small details, and it's just like I even felt like everybody, audience, and even the other host was like, "Okay, time to move on. Stop asking that. Like, move on."
Mm,
So like the show went from being an hour to an hour and a half, and since that made it being 2:30 in the morning for me, I was just like, I want to be done too, please.
mm.
um, so that takes it down a little bit of letter grade because it was just like, um, but here's where we're gonna go. I'm overall, I'm gonna go with probably a B plus.
Mm. So
Um,
two pretty strong grades there.
it's a strong grade. I mean, it does help that boom, new Daughters of Cain thing out of nowhere I was not expecting. That's great. We saw the box.
I wonder what the collective groan was like inside the reveal
Well,
show when we
I'll
saw
be honest. I was talking actually at length with Martin Orlando on this. It it is a very uninspired Daughters of Cain thing.
yeah, it
And
is.
I can't argue that. Like, there's things about it. Like, I like that they're being slightly more armored. I'm glad it's another temple because each of the Underworld's warband has been a different temple. Um,
Mhm.
There's things in it I love. There's things in it I don't love. I'm still that said, I'm excited for it as a whole. It's Daughters of Cain. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna buy the cards. I'm just gonna, yeah, we'll see what the rules are like. But
What saves it for me is what appears to be the champion of the unit with the daggers, the one held up high with
mm-hmm.
the dagger pointed low. Like
Grisels.
that is a really interesting model. I think a little bit different, just based on the
Actually,
clothes he's wearing more than anything.
she's probably
Um,
my least favorite of them all.
is that right?
Yep, but
Wow.
we'll get there when we get there. We're gonna go top to bottom on this.
Okay.
So let's start first. We had that Strike Force Augustus. Augustus. It's Boston
Agastus.
Augustus. Boston
Agastus Gloop.
Strike Force Augustus coming in hot. Gosh. So this is where they had the Desolation Squad, obviously, and then your more standard affair of Marines, with the heavy. Yeah, those are the heavy intercessors. Okay, that's interesting. I'm looking at the picture right now, so everyone follow along at home if you'd like. Um, Actually, more exciting to me than um, the Desolation Squad, even more exciting than that new melee focused Dreadnought, which I'm excited finally exists because needed it. Is the Primaris Lieutenant, and it's apparently huge level of customization because maybe it means they'll stop making them because we have the kit that can do so much. You don't need to keep making them randomly here and there, unless it's like a chapter specific one. I get that for sure, but Neil, overall, what do you think about this specific release? I mean, obviously
Again,
we both love
that's
the Desolation. We both love the big rocket boys. We're happy with that.
sure. This is the thing that kind of knocks it down to me for the like that from the A to the A minus, honestly, because I don't know, it's just not that interesting to me. That doesn't mean it's not interesting to other people.
I
They
get it.
may not agree with me.
It is
I,
just Space Marines.
so the dreadnought is a dreadnought with claws. Okay,
Yep.
sure, you know. So it doesn't move the needle for me at all,
No,
even with gold guns and everything, which I can appreciate, by the way. But
that's fair because
you know,
everything that's new in here pretty much is just filling a gap so you can be fully Primaris and we can move away from Firstborn even more so. So I get that. I 100% get that. And I like that because I've been wanting to go full Primaris on my Dark Angels, but I'm waiting for the story to catch up and I'm waiting for GW to just rip that band-aid off.
mhm.
So maybe that helps me give it a little bit more hype than maybe not, because then I have more options even if I don't buy this, because I'm not planning on buying this one, but I'm glad it's there if I ever want to grab one of these later on.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, next we're gonna jump into the new box set that's coming out with the third of the narrative campaign of the Arcs of Omen, the battle between Azrael and Vashtor. So we're still apparently the Angron book, which is the next one in the series, is coming out very, very soon, which I'm excited for. And then we probably have a bit of a wait until this third book comes out and this box set comes out. Now, literally the only two new things in here is Azrael and Vashtor. Everything else is stuff you can already buy. And to be honest, from the Dark Angel perspective, I have already more than I need of anything else.
Mm-hmm.
With exception, I guess I could use more Primaris troop choices, so maybe I'm not going to buy this box. I'm going to say that. I want Azrael, and I could use those intercessors. I don't really need those Terminators because I already have so many of them. So I'm not planning on buying this box. I'll maybe buy pieces of it if someone locally wants it, or I'll just wait for Azrael to come out separately.
Yeah.
But what's your
Yeah.
thought? I mean, it's a good box.
My,
Like
my
if you,
thought, my thought is, I look at this and like that's what I look at is that model, and so that's and it's pretty sweet model, right? And so like in the picture here, the Space Marines again get kind of whitewashed for me. I
yeah.
don't care.
Space Marine
Everything
player,
else
you or
looks
not?
pretty cool, and so then and then there's some Space Marines splattered in there, and I really don't care whether they're green or whether they're blue. They're all the same Space Marine to me. So moving on, I like the model.
Yep.
It's cool looking. And that's it.
I mean, I'm more excited with the prospect of a new Azrael model means that we're getting the focus on Dark Angels, which is my chapter I love, and my first love within the Warhammer 40K setting. So I'm excited for that. Um, like I said, I'm not planning on picking up this box. I'll try and get Azrael. If I can't get him piecemeal off somebody, I'll get him separately whenever it comes out. But yeah, it could be a good box for someone new people getting into the game. But for me, you know, didn't like I said this didn't move the needle too far, other than cool. I have an idea of when Azrael's coming out, and I'll get my hands on him because I'll probably find someone to split the box with. I bet. All right, now we're gonna get into nitty gritty. Now we get to that new Daughters of Cain Underworld Warband, sir. Tell me how much are you excited that there's even more Daughters of Cain in the world?
I saw this, I was just like, "Are you serious? Like, really? Like, all right, man. Like, okay." I mean, I feel like I said the same thing the last 3 times, but whatever. Have some more toys, Chuck. That's cool.
I will take them. I
So
will take them.
I think they
Especially,
look cool.
listen, this is the first Daughters of Cain release that is a surprise to me since the original Battletome came out. Because then I became a playtester, and then I did all this stuff. Since I haven't been playtesting for a while, I didn't know this was coming out, so it's exciting for that aspect first and foremost.
Mhm.
Um, I will always love and appreciate new Daughters of Cain. There's no question about that. I don't really play Underworlds, but I will buy them. I'll buy the cards. I'll buy their dice. I'll buy their cards. I'll buy everything because it's Daughters of Cain. I'll probably paint this warband up. I'll try in a game or two. Most likely, it's not going to be worthwhile in like a grand scheme of things, and it'll just sit there in my collection and look pretty. I'm okay with it, and that's perfect. That's all it needs to be to me. But let's talk some good and bad about this because like this is an area of expertise for me. So one, I'm excited. In the article mentions this they're from Harkuron, so another temple. So the first one was Hagnar, then we had Calibron with the Shadow Stalker ones, and this is from Harkuron. So eventually, because the pace we're going at, we'll eventually get a full Kraith one too, and I'm excited for that.
God.
I mean, we're gonna get all the temples. I mean, this is like Pokemon. You got to collect them all. We're getting all the temples for Daughters of Cain
Yeah,
and
it
Underworlds.
seems like that's what it is.
Yep. But there is good and bad. Um, Neil, why don't you give me your let's do a good bad sandwich here. So give me your good first, then I'll give you my bad. Then you give me your bad, and I'll give you my good.
Good is Dagger Lady. I like Dagger Lady. I like her, like just the look of the model. I like the I forget what you call it, with the bracers on the legs,
Yep.
on the leg. Yeah, like
Yep.
that looks really cool. Also on the right arm looks pretty cool. I like the daggers, the position of the model, and everything. I like the clothing she's got on. It's all kind of cool. That's my good.
Okay.
Um,
Let me give you my bad then, and then you give me your bad.
okay.
So my bad. Her pose is terrible.
Oh,
If I look at every other Daughters of Cain hero, they have such a strong power stance. She looks like she's tripping over that little rock. Her legs are straight down. They're not spread past her shoulders. It's kind of like a toe up, toe down because she's trying to reach higher than she is. She's like, I'm a tiny little girl. That's a weak ass pose. I don't like it. I think
everybody can't have their foot up on a rock, Chuck.
no, but you can be braced with your legs spread wide like some of the girls around her.
Oh, look at you trying to get the girl's legs spread. Come on, Chuck. This
Absolutely.
is this is 2023.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying that there's better, more proper stances to be fighting, and this one is not it. I don't like her stance at all.
All right, I can
Um,
allow that.
Second little gripe, it's a minor gripe. I just don't like that net. Looks like she's tripping
Net.
over it. Yeah, the net's like,
I don't
it's
like the net either.
yeah, but like that's
The one I like less than that, though, I think looks really stupid, is actually the one right behind her. That's kind
really
of like lunging forward with the arms way back. Ah, it just
interesting.
looks stupid. I don't know. I hate that pose.
Okay, so
That
the only
looks
thing
like.
we're agreeing on here is the net because I love that girl.
Do you really?
So
Looks like Gollum
so the other three girls,
with
the other
with knives.
The other three girls I love for a couple reasons here, because this is kind of thinking future. Like, what would I like to see if they ever redid Witch Elves as a kit? One, a little more armor would be kind of cool because like we have the ones we have now, so like these pants ones are kind of nice. And it's a little bit of armor. It's not a ton of more armor. But if we start with the one you don't like, the Blade Girl. I could see it if you took that model itself, that girl, just like knives on the arms, like just spikes everywhere, and you just turn up that dial like two or three more clicks. Like right now, I think she's on about a 8. Three more clicks would get her to 11. So imagine that model turned up to 11, and then becoming a unit of like 5. Like it's like, hey, by turn 3, they just die because their hearts are exploding because they're so hopped up on witch brew. But within those 3 turns, if they touch a unit, 100 mortal wounds. Like something, you know what I mean? Like that's obviously exaggerating, but like something like that. Like such a, I can see that being such an extreme, super deadly unit that's gonna die to like just die.
If a unit that looked like that took off my favorite unit, I'd be so pissed, and not just because of what it looked like, and that it just did that to my unit. That's no, I'm a no on that one.
Okay, well that makes me love it even more. So and now let's look at the next two. So next two I think very much embody Harkon, which is more the martial gladiatorial status temple.
Mhm.
And said I think the one with the whip is obviously a very nice rendition of that temple as far as a Sisters of Slaughter is concerned. Like it's she's obviously got the whip, she's going at it, she's aggressive, but like she's doing it in a very much more controlled fashion than we see any other witch elves do. And even more so if you look down at the more witch elf variant, even though they all have the Sisters of Slaughter helm on. She's got that shield in front of her, she's got that sword poised, like she's like an ancient Roman warrior. She is ready to hold that line. I would love to see a unit of models like that are more defensive focused for Daughters of Cain. And this is wish listing. I'm not talking about balance of the game. I don't care about that. At this with this type of conversation, but like a unit of shield maidens per se that are a little bit more defensible, not a ton, still blendy, but like a little bit more defensible, slightly less blendy, to like be like an anvil for a turn, and before they die. I love that concept, and I'd love to see these two models specific. Like one embodies the temple itself, and the other one embodies what I would like to see in a new unit. And then the other one is also another new unit. So that's where I stand with this whole thing. So obviously it's kind of funny. The only thing we disagree on is we don't like the net.
Yeah, yeah. The net looks like a cornucopia. That's what it is.
Well, you know what you do with that cornucopia?
When you do that
You
cornucopia.
stuff it in the cornucopia. Adult Swim jokes. Come on, boys.
Oh,
Uh,
please.
but yeah, and I said, I'm all in. I'm excited. New Dodge Kane. I'll just windmill slam that buy button as soon as I can. All right, next up, something I think we're all going to be happy about. Seraphon.
Mm-hmm.
So, Neil, tell me about Hot Lizard Summer coming up for you in
Hot Lizard
2023.
Summer. I'm thrilled with these models, and
Aren't they
I
so
actually
good?
have a. Well, my son has a Lizardman army. It's filled with lots of old models. I'm actually the thing that I'm actually least, you know, super excited about is the new Slan, even though it looks awesome. Like I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of it. They found a way, from what it appears, to have a flying palanquin without the white, or I'm sorry,
Plastic
the
rods,
clear,
fight
yeah,
stands.
the flight stand thing. So looks really cool. Um, but it's cool. But there's just something better that I saw that caught my eye, and I can't look past it now. And what you may think I'm talking about is these new chicken lizards. Looks like a cross between a rooster and a velociraptor,
Yep.
which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I don't love about it is the new skink faces. Just look like they're
they're like
this is very cartoony.
they're very
Um,
Mario villain enemy.
right, that's
Yeah.
exactly it. You hit it right there. I couldn't put that in words, but you made it happen right there. Very Mario villain, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sure, they don't look
Yeah.
bad. Don't
Oh
get me
yeah,
wrong.
they're
It's
not
just
bad. Yeah.
kind of silly ass face on them. That's all. But but if we keep on going down and we start talking about these new Source Warriors, now I don't know if you, I know you play Total War 3,
Mm-hmm.
or any of the Total Wars. The Saurus in Total War, especially the heroes that you can pick from, they are frightening looking. Like
Okay.
whenever I click on them, like who's realistically going to kill that thing? Like that thing
They're just
win
gonna
every battle.
they're gonna shoot at it until they see it close enough and be like, "We're done."
I mean, it's and they captured that, I feel like, in these new just baseline battle line troops. So you're going to see these troops a lot, and that's one important thing for me for any army is that the battle line, the thing that you should see, that you're going to see the most, should be cool.
Absolutely.
Right? It shouldn't just be an afterthought. It shouldn't be some crappy old model. Like the old ones were just, they're running around with a spear and they're,
Yeah.
very statically posed. They're
All the
21
shields
years
were
old.
exactly the same.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was like, oh boy, is it high time for this? And they did not disappoint at all. And so this actually puts the reveal for me like way up high. So some of the other stuff that I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
uh, these Seraphon models in particular are just huge for me. I love it. Love it to death. I can't wait to see what good painters do with these things.
Oh yeah.
That you're going to get to see across the battlefield and everything. Like, just going to be a joy to play against.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Every single one of these was a huge success for me. And in the reveal show, they said there's still more of this army to be shown, which means I
Yeah,
think this might be like almost a whole line refresh. Not everything,
right.
but like maybe a majority.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
I
they're going to keep the bigger models. I don't think the Carnosaurs. I'd be shocked if
No,
the
that they
Carnosaurs.
they showed those in the actually in the preview video for this. So like I think those things, but like I bet the skinks might get redone. I don't know.
That'd be great
Yeah,
because they need it. They need it
maybe.
for sure.
And some of the heroes I think are still good to come over, like are still good to stay. But I think like the older stuff's going to be redone. It's not going to be a complete line rehaul, but it's like let's redo the stuff that's old.
Yeah, I mean, little heroes and stuff like that are low hanging fruit, and you do see a lot of those get remade. So
But honestly,
it's
I think with them they have a lot of good plastic ones that they don't need to. I think they're still good.
that what's the one the one that used to be the battle standard? What's it called now?
Oh, yeah, it's fair. That's fair. I could
He
see. Yeah,
could he could get a refresh. Plus, I think he was fine cast.
yeah, fine cast. Yeah,
I don't think he even made it to
no,
plastic
he was
ever.
fine cast. Yeah, but like Skink Star Priest, that's still fine. That's a newer one. Um,
Sure. Yeah.
as far as the slang goes, um, if I ever do this army, which is more likely now, uh, slan with hat, that feathery crown hat. Like I saw the first
Yeah.
one. I'm like, okay, it's good slan. I'm like, I don't mind it. And then I saw the second variant where it has him with the hat. I'm like, I like this boy. I like
He
this boy
looks
a lot.
like if you just like go with the face, you remove the rest of the toad, you just look at the face. He is from Gremlins.
I I would listen. Slan with hat is the way to go. Don't
Still
don't
on with that. Yeah.
don't at me.
Gremlins too, baby.
Yeah,
The
and like I
new
said,
bat.
the the chicken rat riders. That's what I'm calling them. The chicken rat riders.
Yeah.
They're fine. I think they look good. If I was to play this army, I'd probably add a unit or two of them for fun.
Hmm.
Um, just yeah, I like them. And then yeah, you're right. The SARS like even looking at this, going like, okay, people who still play Warhammer Fantasy Battles like us, if you
Hmm.
were to start a new Lizardman army for that game, you might have some hard times ranking these boys up. But even with that, I think it'd be worth it because these look so much better.
I don't know, man. If I played Warhammer Fantasy and and I had a unit of 40 of those things, I'm like, realistically, like if I lost a game, I'm like, well, no, I don't accept that because I have these models.
That's fair. No, that's entirely fair. I've
I
won
don't
because I
care.
have a prettier
I'm like, I
army
don't
than
care
you.
that I lost. I don't accept it. These models would have killed you, so I win.
It's all part of the great plan. The great plan is to look better than you, and you just put on sunglasses and leave.
That's right.
No, but like, yeah, these are just an absolute win.
I bet, by the way, if you want to see what the new skinks are going to look like, look at Slan with Hat. and check out that skink boy standing right there next to him, who looks pretty awesome.
That's true. He does look pretty awesome. But yeah, this was absolutely what carried the entire thing for me. It was just this was the best part of it. Like I said, Dodgers game was great, but like I have no gripes about any single model here.
Yeah, and I mean Seraphon's already it's a pretty decent army,
Yep.
and it's doing well, and it has been doing well for some time, and I think it's a fairly popular army. I think you're going to see a lot of this.
Yeah, and it's
I
easy to
think you're going
paint.
to see
You
it
can
all.
go have fun with colors. Like I said,
Mhm,
it's a, and then I the reason I called it Hot Lizard Summers because they did a reveal of when the book will come out, and they said summer. So
mhm,
obviously we have I think next week we Gits and what's the other one? Oh, Beast of Chaos are coming out, and then we have 6 books in spring, so 2 a month.
mhm.
2 Order, 2 Chaos, 2 Death. I think that's what the split was. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride for Sigmar here in the next couple months. And but like yeah, by then if I have everything cleared off my desk and nothing else has sparked my interest or pulled me like any other game systems, I might start Lizardman Army. It's not on my radar yet, but they have my interest. They have my attention. They have my attention.
Mhm.
All right, after that, Warcry, Blood Hunt. Now I don't get to play Warcry enough. It's actually I could get games in. It's just whenever I get together with somebody, I'd rather just play Sigmar or
Right.
Fantasy or 40k. Um,
Mhm.
but it's kind of regrowing with my local club here, so I'm never sad when I see a cool Warcry release, especially when I see Ronin freaking vampires. Holy crap!
Yeah, these are pretty interesting. I will say that they're unlike anything else I'd ever seen for vampires. There's uh, one little gripe I have with some of these models is the guys with the weapons with the rope. Is that rope?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean
know.
they're like the ninjas. Those are like kunai
Right,
on
but that
ropes. Yeah.
rope just looks.
Well, okay. You
I
have to
don't
kind of
know.
let that go because scales of models. You couldn't go thinner, otherwise it would just break on the sprue. I get
It's
what you're
true.
saying. I get what you're saying, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
kind of have to.
and I can accept that for the number of spindly models I've played with. Um, yeah, it looks like he's holding a snake.
My thing is because I've had the thoughts before, even before like a Seraphon. So that's why like Seraphon's not on my radar yet. But I've had the idea to do a death army based upon that one character, uh, Lucas something, the centaur lady, big centaur lady, centaur bat
Oh yeah,
lady.
yeah. Luca Vi.
Yeah, because I love her story. She's super cool. So I was like, well, if I ever do a death army, I'll center it around her. Maybe make it bring in some monsters, do some blood knights. But it's like, ooh, I could bring these guys in because they kind of fit that feel, and do like a Bloodborne slash Elden Ring slash Dark Souls type look to the whole army because like this fits right into that.
Hmm.
So it's like that's actually more on my radar more than uh Seraphon are at this point. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
One of my gripes about this current Soulblight book is you've got all these like random, really cool vampire characters.
Yeah.
5 wound vampire characters with a 6 up ward, right? Um, Now I guess they have a little bit more protection, especially walking next to 60 zombies.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, I don't know. They never seemed like they had much of a role. And like you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to take this for the points because it doesn't do anything. It looks sweet though. I want to take it, but I just don't have a reason to take it. So
Right.
I hope these Warcry war bands they work their way into books, but they're always usually, I mean,
Well, I
pretty
mean, it's
pretty
interesting
terrible.
because most of the Warcry Warband stuff has been for Slaves to Darkness, and a few of them are hitting pretty good.
Yeah, and I
Uh,
mean, well, the Rotmeyer Creed are fairly good as well.
and I'll be
So
honest, the Daughters of Cain one, they kind of like people forget they're from Warcry. Honestly, at this
yeah,
point, they either use them or you don't. Like it's not like a guaranteed one you need to use. But if I was to do this Death Army, it'd be very narrative heavy, and these I could fit these in pretty well. So Well,
I like the sword guys. Sword guys are awesome
oh
in
gosh,
here.
yes.
I keep like wondering about mace guy's face, but I don't know. The mace is pretty sweet, like that too. But I think the wolf guy is where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I. I mean, I'm staring at these too long because I'm just like, the more I look at them, the more I'm just like, okay, well, maybe I should look into starting because, like, I have this Fire Slayer army. Once that's done, I got nothing going on, and maybe I could. It's like, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it.
Playing Soul Blight is unlike anything you've ever painted,
See,
right?
here's
It's
the
a
thing though. Like, I don't
thing,
like,
you know.
I don't like skeletons and zombies, and I
Yeah,
feel like I need them. So I'd have to kind of get my head around that first. So it's,
yeah.
and
You did home.
I'm not afraid to paint them or play with that many models, obviously, but
Mhm.
we'll see. There's more and more stuff for Death coming out that I'm just like interesting. Yeah, like I'm very interested. And also, I don't have a Death Army yet, so maybe we'll see. Um, Other half of this box, the Corn Boys. These bestial corns, these are wonderful models as well. I mean, they fit more just in corn. Like they're not like blowing me away. As
Mhm.
far as like something new and like, oh, that's not a take I saw. It's just like, okay, these are really cool. They're bestial corn guys. Makes sense. I
Yeah.
like the one guy that's cosplaying as uh, a corn puppo. That's fine. Live your life, buddy.
Mhm.
Yeah, like these are all wonderful. The corn stuff looks great.
Yep.
Uh, I hope they make.
You end up getting this box and you need to offload those corn boys on somebody. You let me know.
Hey, maybe. I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm saying it's. I know who my corn. Well, it used to be Cole, but he's come over to the elf side fully in Sigmar. So
Yeah, I think we can get them back.
yeah, we could. And there's all this extra terrain too. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, great box. I need to stop looking at these. And samurai boys. Okay, so next up, Horus Heresy got a tank with a giant. This is my rifle. This is my gun. This is for fighting. This is for blowing up tanks.
Hmm.
With my tank, my tank's got a bigger gun than yours. The Cerberus.
Which, as tanks go, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, I think this has already existed. It was just used to be resin. Now it's plastic. Cool. I mean,
Yep.
you
But
know,
big tank. Awesome.
yeah. Like I said, it's something cool. Um, I think the interesting thing with this too is like I'm kind of thinking ahead. Like, okay, what does that mean for something like Old World? Because Old World might take the same sort of approach that Horse Heresy's taking. How does this correlate to that? I don't know. Um, but that's kind of how I compare this stuff. Because like I'm not gonna buy this tank. I have a Horse Heresy army, but like I'm not gonna buy this tank. It's more of a curiosity. So we'll move on to the last reveal of the day. The new Kill Team Soul Shackle. Where half of this box is straight fire, and the other half is an upgrade sprue that I don't care about. Also, there's terrain, I guess. So, in this box set, you have the Arbites, Arbites, whatever you want to call them, the Judge Dredd of the Warhammer setting. I mean, it's inspired by its own take. It's very much its own thing. They've
Hmm.
they managed to describe this as Judge Dredd without saying the words Judge Dredd, which is exactly what they needed to do.
Yes.
Um, because like I said, if you looked at it sideways quickly, you'd be like, "Oh, it's Judge Dredd." If you look at it close, you're like, "Oh no, I see how this is its own thing and how cool it is." Um, yeah, absolutely cool to see these finally getting something on the table, even if it's just a kill team. Um,
They got a good boy in the models.
they
The
do,
best boy.
and
You
you
know.
can, and what I like about these, because like I just did a kill team not too long ago with the Sisters of Battle, and these types of kill teams are really nice because everyone's specialized, so it gives you a taste of the whole army. Now these guys are not going to be a whole army because truly you'd have one or two of these on an entire planet, and 10 of them together is like an entire solar system's, you know,
Mhm.
group of them, maybe even two. But apparently, I think I saw that you can also kit them all out pretty much in the same way. So if you want to make them like a unit of the same guys, you can. So I still that doesn't mean they're. I don't think they're doing an army of them, but just like there's more options. You can have a little bit of everything, or you can be like all super focused. So that's kind of a cool idea. And then the other half, which you think I'd be more excited about because it's Dark Eldar, which I have that army, but I don't care about Kabalites. I'm a Witch Elf army, as you'd expect. These are all Kabalites, and it's the same sprue that I technically already have with upgrade sprue attached to do some of this cooler stuff that they're doing in here. And don't get me wrong, this cooler stuff they're doing in here is really cool, but not enough for me to want this box. Because I'm not a big fan of the RBTs as far as like a faction. They're cool, but like I don't have desire for them, and I don't need a unit of Cabalite warriors for my Dark Eldar that I would never use anyway.
Yeah, this is for me. It's neat. Glad it exists.
Yeah, as
Wish
I,
it.
I think the more interesting thing about it is the fact that the there's breachable walls in here. It's more modular terrain. That's cool.
Mhm.
So, as I said, I'm not trying to poo-poo it. It's just not for me. That's fine.
Yeah, same here.
But yeah, overall, that was a good reveal.
Yeah,
Um,
one of the better ones in a while. Honestly, for me, the reveal shows have been kind of anticlimactic for a long time, and a lot of this stuff like isn't really on my radar, right?
right.
But I can appreciate a lot of it. It's cool stuff, right? And I like that they actually did a reveal with components of like a redone army. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I stack up everything. Every reveal show gets stacked up against the original Daughters of Cain release.
And that was the best one, and the closest second was the Slanesh release, I think.
Mhm. I would probably agree with that.
Yep.
And this, not having watched the show, so I can't really say anything about that. But the models for Seraphon and everything were just, and the fact that there's more coming, which is inspiring as well, really makes this an interesting release for me. And something that I would have liked to have spent the hour and a half watching. So the next time one comes around, having seen this release, I will be more interested in to see the next one. But
Well, next time we're gonna be at Adept Won't, and we'll all be together.
that'll
So
be on Wednesday night, though, won't it?
oh, that's right, we're not coming until Thursday.
I mean, we
Well,
might
so
have to
it'd be
do a.
a little group call.
Mm-hmm,
I think
mm-hmm,
so. I think we'll have to,
yep,
or maybe I'll drive out Wednesday. We'll see. I don't know. Figure it out.
yep,
I don't think I put in the request for time off yet on that. We'll figure it
yeah.
out.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It's still 2 months off.
Yeah, 2 months off. But yeah, solid. Like I said, cool Space Marines. Can't wait for Azrael. Looking forward to buying more Daughters of Cain. That's new always. Seraphon, you have my attention. Blood Hunt, you're making me interested more and more to do Death Faction. Cerberus, hi. Soul Shackle, enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll wrap up our reveals then. Our coverage of the reveals, I should say. So yeah, any of your thoughts, Neil? Tell you, let's while we're here. Um, LVO is happening this weekend. Now, obviously, Sigmar's being streamed. I'm going to be watching pretty much all of it. Um, Now they're using the old General's Handbook, so Bounty Hunters still in play, Galatian veterans, all that sort of stuff. But they're using new points,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously old battle plans, all that sort of stuff. Now, most of the old battle plans, a lot of half them carry over, so those won't change drastically. Um, so I'm curious, who is your prediction as far as army to win the event?
Oh boy. See, I haven't paid enough attention to the meta in the last General's Handbook because I didn't care about it, didn't like it. So I will go out on a limb and I'm going to say Seraphon takes the win.
I mean, it's a possibility. I don't think it's maybe. No, yeah, no, I think you have a shot with that. That's we'll see how that looks. Um, I'm going to bank on. I'm gonna stick with my girls. I'm gonna say Marathi and the Bow Snakes are gonna bring it home one last time because yeah, we'll go with that. So Seraphon or Marathi and the Bow Snakes, Dodge Kane. Here we go. So
Mhm.
all right, I think that's a good show. Neil, any closing thoughts then?
Stay Stormcast strong.
And happy hobbing, everybody. Take care.